Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps that people like to listen to? And how do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is so very easy and simple. It is Anchor, y'all. It's Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% and ridiculously easy to use. Most of all, it is free. And now, y'all, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad here. I use Anchor for my radio broadcast as another branch to advertise and promote my episodes of my show that stems right from YouTube. And what I like about Anchor is that it distributes all to many platforms, as well as it has an in-depth statistics to where you can see how your podcast is doing. That's cool, right? I love it. So if you always wanted to start your podcast and make money doing it, please go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters who are already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. My name is Red, and I'm the host of the RH3 Show. I cannot wait to hear your podcast. Oh, gracious and most holy Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for each and every one that is listening to me under the sound of my voice. Oh, God, I thank you for today's broadcast. I thank you for our special guest on today, Ms. Wincey Terry Bryant, who is here to present her song, Beautiful, right here on the RH3 Show. Lord, move by your spirit on today, Father. Touch this broadcast, Father. Touch each listener, Father. Touch each co-host, my audience, my chances, my day one family. Lord, I give you all the honor and all the praises, because it is in Jesus' name that I pray. Lord, continue to move by your spirit throughout this whole brand, throughout this whole broadcast platform, Father. And Lord, I believe that you are raising up somebody somewhere to use their power, their ability, and their influence to help me and to help the RH3 Show team. We give you all the glory, all the honor, and all the praises. It is in Jesus' name that I pray. Amen. You all, let's go get it. It's an all new broadcast of the RH3 Show. Let's do it.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's from sin to the saint. As winners we can't live by the picture they paint, because they know their own inner is taint. So we must live out our lives with a sense of restraint. Which means do I live and we ain't? We are controlled by the flesh, we're
dependent and sway. Y'all, I'm sitting here eating. I got me a snack one today. I'm eating my a slice of socket tui cake. So good, y'all. So good. So good. I'm about done with it. Hold on. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on, y'all? How you doing? I missed you all, but we're still rocking it out. This whole first 14 days, it's a vacation for me. It's a vacation. It's a little break. Hope y'all been doing well. I have. I still been working. I still been working, y'all. I still been working. We'll be back on next week. I think it'll be Thursday. Yeah, we'll be back on next Thursday. through the middle of August to rock it out with all new broadcasts. And then after that, we got some more of our star-studded guests coming in. Like today, we got Miss Wincey, Terry Bryant, who gonna be calling in and speaking to us. Yes. How y'all been? Talk to me. I haven't spoken to some of you all who listened since our live broadcast on Saturday when we had the 4th of July special. So, how y'all been? I've been good. Like I said, resting, chilling, minding my business. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. So, that's what I'm going to continue to do. But I got me some I got me some Gold Peak. Y'all already knew what it was with it. And so was my slice of cake. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, we got a jam-packed show on today. We're going to be speaking on a touchy subject about drug and alcohol abuse. And I know this area far too well. I know it far too well. And I'll speak on it and give you, a little bit of transparency on it. And we're going to talk about it and speak on it. And so, yeah, listen, y'all, I'm just clueless on this chit-chat session. I don't even, I just been rocking it. I got some inside scoop with Rufus News, as well as Nina Taylor is here this week with her gospel news. And I'm glad because, we both haven't been in. And so we've been here. I've been here and, giving you all the highlighted best of moments. And I'm glad, and let me speak on that. I'm glad that, I'm able to present old broadcasts to you all so y'all can get a feel of the show. And so how they been and what have you. So continue to listen to me. And whenever you hear that, that drop or whatever about it being the best of, always listen because I'll pull great, broadcasts for you all. And so I hope y'all have been enjoying them and, what have you. And so, yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. And, just need a little break, but, excuse me, we're going to continue to rock it out. Y'all, the song that I played, did I play it yesterday? I think I played it yesterday. I don't know why I've been on this Kelly Price high for the past few weeks. But yeah, I've been listening to her, her song, Healing, as well as, Grateful. Every time I think about your love, I just get so excited. Y'all, speaking of love, how y'all in that area? I mean, I just want to just briefly touch on that. How y'all in that area? How are y'all in that area? Me, y'all, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I don't know if anybody's listening, but anybody listening in my area. Let me say that because I know the Bahamian family is listen. I'm a real dude, real man, or what have you, but I get emotional sometimes when I speak on them because I love them all so very much. I love the love that I get from my family. I do. I really do. And I talk about them all the time. Even the ones that I've conversed with on social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I say that because one of my old guests not really old guests, he's like a friend to the show, was from Kingston, Jamaica. And that's how he say Instagram. I love it. I love it. But yeah, if you're from Instagram, Snapchat, or what have you, I have gotten a little personal, one-on-one relation, and I love it. And that's how I probably won't be able to keep it once I will keep it. I won't be able to add on more. Let me say that. Personal one-on-one. Cause once this broadcast, grow, I'ma still continue to, be there for the ones who have, I told you, chat with me, inbox me or what have you. But, the other ones, the new ones out, hey. So if we converse on a weekly basis, not day to day, because sometimes it don't be day to day, but if we converse on a weekly basis, we good. And so we gonna be good. And so if you are a new listener, become a regular co-host. What is a regular co-host? My listeners, become a regular listener. I am on every Monday through Friday that's another story, from 1 to 2 p.m. on Gospel 107 FM, and then I'm taking a break, and then I'm on from 3 to 4 p.m. on my 94.5. And then I'm taking a 2-hour break, and I'm on from 6 to 7 sometimes on WPOP. And so that's a whole nother story. And so, y'all heard me speak on that previously. And so I'll just leave that one alone. And, still, leave that alone until it's time for me to address that again. But, yeah. What else? Yeah, that's how you become a co-host. It's just a regular list. Become a regular listener. And this goes all out to everyone in New York, Chicago, North Carolina, South Carolina, Canada, Brazil, Africa, England, the Bahamas, wherever you are, wherever part of the world you happen to be listening to me on. California, yay, Texas. Listen, let's rock it out. Let's do that for this summer. Help me promote the show. And we can do this thing. We're going to do this thing. We're going to do this thing for the 5th season. Real love, real life, real conversations. We're giving it to you real raw, straight to the point. And with that being said, here is Nina Taylor with This Week in Gospel News. Then I'm going to come back with a few news reports. And then we're gonna give you a couple Ask Red. No. I'll do that on our day on our day that we will return back, which is on Thursday. But we'll still be airing best of broadcast tomorrow and the first part of next week. All right, be back with more of the RH3 show. Nina Taylor, let's rock it out.
I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Want the latest news regarding the TV, movies, sports, politics, and music industry? It is time for the Inside Scoop with Red, right here on the RH3 show.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Would you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
Hi everybody.
everybody. I'm Nina Taylor, and here is your gospel news. William Becton is a contemporary gospel artist who made waves on both the religious and popular charts, with fans of gospel as well as secular listeners who simply enjoy positive music. The singer and producer from Washington, D.C. released 4 albums billed as William Becton and Friends. The group debuted with the gospel chart-topping Broken in 1995 and watched the single Be Encouraged crossed into the R&B Top 40. Heart of a Love Song in 1997 and B2K, Prophetic Songs of Promise in 2000, went to the top 10 in gospel. After that, Becton was a proper solo artist. He released Broken Volume 2 live in 2003, served as pastor of Kingdom Purpose Worship Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, and released the single Thank You in 2012. He was recruited by the legendary gospel group Commissioned while still a relative unknown. Marvin Sapp recorded with the group until his dissolution in 1995. Born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Marvin Sapp debuted with Commission in the early 90s after Keith Staton left for solo work. He recorded the Commission albums Number 7 and Matters of the Heart with members Fred Hammond, Mitchell Jones, Mike Williams, and Carl Reed. After Hammond and Williams left, Sapp recorded the group's final album, 1996 Irreplaceable Love. By that time, Marvin Sapp had signed a solo contract as well. In March of 1996, he saw the release of his self-titled debut album on Word Records. The album reunited him with former Commission member Fred Hammond, who produced the LP, and featured the gospel hits Calling Me and In His Presence. Marvin Sapp's sophomore album, Grace and Mercy, appeared in May of 1997, following 2 years later by Nothing Else Matters. After a short absence from the music scene, he reappeared and released the song I Believe on Wow Gospel 2002, followed by the album I Believe later in 2002. Diary of a Psalmist appeared in 2003, Be Exalted in 2005, Thirsty in 2007, Here I Am, which debuted higher in the Billboard charts than any other gospel album in 50 years, arrived in 2010, and was followed by I Win in 2012, which hit number 1 on Billboard's top gospel charts. 2015 saw the release of Sapp's 10th solo album, the chart-topping You Shall Live in 2017. In 2017, Listen, with the song later appearing on his 11th album, Close, in September of that year. Here's the history of Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the ending of slavery in the United States, dating back to 1865. It was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed at Galveston, Texas, with the news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. Note that this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which became official on January 1st, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation had little impact on the Texans due to the minimal number of Union soldiers to enforce the new executive order. However, the surrender of General Lee in April of 1865 and the arrival of General Granger's regiment, the forces were finally strong enough to influence and overcome the resistance. During these troubling times, good nutrition is key to a healthy life. You can improve your health by keeping a balanced diet. You should eat foods that contain vitamins and minerals. That includes fruits and vegetables, whole grains, dairy, and a source of protein. Bake, grill, or broil meat instead of frying it. Remove the skin before cooking chicken and turkey. Eat fish at least once a week. Reduce extra fat. This includes butter on bread, sour cream on baked potatoes, and salad dressings. Use low-fat or non-fat versions of these foods. Eat plenty of fruits and vegetables with your meals as well as for snacks. Read nutrition labels before you buy food. When you eat out, be aware of fat on larger portion sizes. Staying hydrated is important for good health. Drink zero or low-calorie beverages such as water or tea. And remember to talk to your doctor about your diet. Here's your Blazing Hot Praise Top 10 Gospel Songs for this week. Number 10, Keela Richardson, still at number 10 with So Good. Number 9, Pastor Mike Jr., Big. 8, Jermaine Dolly, Miranda Curtis, Pull Us Through. 7, Fred Hammond with All Right. Ernest Pugh has number 6 with God Wants to Heal You. Number 5, Anthony Brown and Group Therapy, This Week. 4, Kirk Franklin, Just For Me. 3, Travis Green, Won't Let Go. 2, Dietrich Haddon with Open Door Season. And for week number 2, the Clark Sisters with Victory. Well, that's your Blazing Hot Praise Top 10 Songs and your gospel news. I'm Nina Taylor. Let's get back to more great gospel music on this great station.
Thank you, Nina Taylor. Thank you, Nina, for your portion of This Week in Gospel News. I want to start off with this week in Gospel News by wishing deep condolences and prayers to the Pace family. They lost the matriarch, Mother Betty Ann Pace. And so continue to keep her in your prayer, keep their family in your prayer. She has, like we say, gone home to be with the Lord. And so if you don't know, she is the matriarch of the Pace family, the Pace sister, LaShawn and the rest of the Pace family, the Pace girls, and so and you know, all the other the family members or what have you. Continue to keep them in your prayers, okay? Continue to keep them in your prayers, all right? Yeah, continue to keep them in your prayers, and also let's lift each and every one who has been going through in prayer. But listen, y'all, because during this time, I mean, no telling what we go through on the inside. No telling what we go through on the inside. And I say that because like there's a meme out here that says check on the strong, because you really don't know what they go through on the inside, and you don't know, you know, you could be sitting there smiling and carrying on and what have you, and everything can seem fine, hunky-dory, or what have you, but it's not. And so yeah, I just wanted to say that, and you know, and let's continue to lift each and every one up in prayer. And also, Glee star Naya Rivera. Wow. She's missing after a boat ride with her 4-year-old son. The actress, you know, she took a boat ride in Lake Peru in Los Padres National Forest in Ventura County, National Forest in Ventura County, California on Wednesday. The Ventura County Sheriff's Department has confirmed. The Sheriff's Department told NBCLA that the actress and her son, Josie, rented a boat around 1 p.m. Apparently, 3 hours later, the boater discovered her young son in the boat by himself and told authorities that his mother went in the water for a swim but never came back up or returned to the boat. Wow. Officials told NBCLA that Rivera's son was wearing a life jacket, was wearing a life vest, while Rivera was not. A search was immediately initiated with the helicopters, divers, and drones, and actors have not been found. Authorities reportedly believe Rivera to be dead. Wow. Jesus. Woo! That's yeah, and that's what I've been telling y'all. That's why I tell y'all, don't make light, or whenever somebody, you know, is always seems happy around you, always, when somebody always seems happy around you, please take them out one day, or, you know, without even throwing hints or without even assuming something. Make sure that they okay. All right? Make sure that they are okay. Because look, I'm telling y'all right now, you know, I'm here to let y'all know that I will let you know in a minute that, hey, we good, but we not good. That was tough. That was tough. But anyway, but yeah, that's all I have for the inside scoop of the red. Let's do a health minute. We haven't did a health minute in a minute, and I want to briefly touch bases and speak on, blood clot symptoms to know. And as you know, to protect ourselves, protect the stations or any platforms that you happen to be listening to me on, to protect them, let's go ahead and rock and drop that health minute, the health minute introduction. All right, let's do it. This segment of the RH3 show provides general information and discussions about health and related subjects. The information and other content provided during this segment or any linked materials on the RH3 show website are not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard on the broadcast or read on the RH3 Show website or any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed during this broadcast or on any future or past broadcast and on the website have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. This is 4 blood clot symptoms that you must need to know. First of all, let's get right to it real quick. What is a clot? It is a lump of cells and protein in your blood. A clot helps slow bleeding when you're injured. It usually dissolves as you heal, but if it doesn't, if it forms when it's not, let me read that over again. But if it doesn't, or if it forms when it's not needed, it can clog up completely, block a blood vessel. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let it be. Like we always say, blood is thicker than water. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Blood is always thicker than water, and this is pertaining with family and friends. Family versus friends. Blood may be thicker than water, but a blood can clot up and can take you out of here. So watch it. Take you some blood thinners if you have a problem with clotting. Well, see your primary care physician. Let me say that. Anyway, what problems can it cause? An unexpected clot can lead to serious problems and even death. In an artery, it can give in an artery, it can give you a heart attack or stroke. If it happens in a vein and you feel pain and swelling, no, if it happens in a vein, you can feel pain and swelling. A clot deep inside your body is called deep vein thrombosis, which is DVT. And one in your lung is a pulmonary embolism. They both are medical emergencies. Know your chances. Hey, if you can get a blood clot if you break a bone or pull a muscle badly, but sometimes you may not know why it happened or even realize you have one. There are clues. There are clues though. Your odds of clots are higher if you are recovering from a surgery or had to sit for many hours on a flight or in a wheelchair, are overweight or obese, have diabetes or high cholesterol, or you are over the age of 60. First clue, swelling. Check your body if you're dealing with swelling. Check it. When a clot slows or stops the flow of blood, it can build up in the vessel and make it swell. If it happens in your lower leg or calf, is often a sign of DVT, deep vein thrombosis. But you could also have a clot in your arm or belly. Even after it goes away, 1 in 3 people still have swelling, sometimes pain, sores from damage in a blood vessel. 2, skin color. Check your skin colors, all right? It could be, blue, reddish, or what have you. Your skin may also discolored from the damage from the blood vessel. A pulmonary embolism in your lungs could make your skin look pale, bluish, or clammy, all right? And clammy, excuse me. The clue, pain. Hold on 1 second, you all. Hold on 1 minute. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. The clue is pain. Intense pain could mean that there's a clot has been broken off and caused the PE, pulmonary embolism, or it could be a sign that your clot, that a clot in your arteries that gave you a heart attack. If so, you might feel pain in your arm, especially on the left. Clot often hurts where it's located, like your lower leg, your stomach, under your throat, or what have you. Clue. Another clue, trouble breathing. This is a serious symptom. Listen, always pay attention to what I'm saying, especially, don't take my word for it all. Always consult your medical doctor. Always consult it. And so it could be a, sign that you have a clot in your lungs or your heart. Your heart may also race, or you might feel sweaty or faint. Location could be in your lungs. A clot can give you different symptoms based on where it's at. A pulmonary embolism can give you a fast pulse, chest, bloody cough, and shortness of breath. Get to the hospital right away. You might also have no signs. Location, your heart. Call 911 right away. Location, brain. Pressure builds when blood can't flow normally. A severe blockage sometimes can lead to a stroke. Without oxygen from the blood, your brain cells starts to die in minutes. A clot in your brain can cause headaches, confusion, seizures, speech problems, and weakness, and sometimes just one side of the body. Location, your belly. All right, your belly. Your poop or vomit blood. You may poop or vomit blood, and your stool might look black, or has a smell unusually bad. Location, kidneys. Also called renal vein thrombosis, And if you suspect a blood clot, see your doctor right away, or go to the emergency room. It can be deadly, and you won't know for sure if you haven't until you get checked. All right. Preventative preventative tips. Don't sit or stay still for long, especially after a long trip or surgery. If you're a desk jockey, get up and move your leg. You move for at least every couple hours. Flex your legs, feet, and toes in chairs. Check if tight-fitting compression socks or garments can help your blood flow. And also ask your doctor if you might need to take clot fighting drugs called anticoagulants. So yeah, always consult your doctor. Always. Don't go by what I tell you, or don't go by what you've read, or don't go by what you heard. All right. It does not. This broadcast and these platforms that you listen to me on, whether it be on radio, whether it be on the podcast platforms, this does not provide medical advice. It doesn't. It just, giving you a report. But always consult. your medical doctor. And let me take a quick break, and then coming up next is our Real Talk with Red discussion, and after that, included in that is our special guest on today, Ms. Wincey, Terry Bryan. She's our first guest during our summer block party. Be back with more of the RH3 Show. The RH3 Show is hosting a 1-hour summer block party all summer long, and you're invited. During the month of July, we're going to turn up with exclusive Real Talk with Rufus discussions. In August, we're rocking it out and inviting our star-studded guests to join us for the party. We have our DJ on the ones and twos. But it's not a party without our co-host. So join us.
The RH3 Show. For more about the broadcast, please visit the rh3show.com.
This new season, to be elevated, expect the unexpected.
What I just told you, that's how I felt. That's how I felt. If I wanted to say that, I would have wrote it. I said what I said. You don't like it, you don't like it.
It's the Real Talk with Red segment right here on the RH3 Show. It is the Real Talk with Red discussion, and this is where I give you my honest, unscripted opinion on real life topics like today, grown folks discussions like today, and all from a Christian male perspective, and so or faith believing male perspective, Christian faith. But let's get into it, y'all. Even before I go into that, I'm gonna drop the health minute yet again, but this can go into that arena and that area, and so let's go ahead and drop it. All right. This segment of the RH3 Show provides general information and discussions about health and related subjects. The information and other content provided during this segment or any linked materials on the RH3 Show website are not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard on the broadcast or read on the RH3 Show website or any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed during this broadcast or on any future or past broadcast and on the website have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. Yes, and the reason why I do that is just, again, to protect ourselves, and because reports I read, and sometimes I don't even study them, and, it may give medical advice or attempt to give medical advice or anything mentioned medical, and so this is all for protection of us. And so shout out to my team, Real Talk with Rufus producer, shout out to him, and shout out to my producers on this various stations. And so I thank you all for your push and your drive. All right, let's get into it. Addiction. What is addiction? Addiction is a chronic, relapsing brain disease defined by a physical and psychological dependence on drugs, alcohol, or a behavior. When an addictive disorder has formed, a person will pursue their toxic habits despite putting themselves or others in harm's way. And here's a quote: "An addiction heavily impacts the way a person thinks, feels, and acts. Many individuals with addictive disorders are aware of their problem, but have difficulty in stopping on their own. And that's very true. That's very true. And the reason why I say that is because I'm not going to say which one, because I'm on air. I publicly am on here publicly, and I have people listening into, in any areas, in various platforms, wherever part of the world you're listening, whether here in the States, overseas, or what have you. Listen to me, and let's just protect my family, period. But one of my nephews is considered an addict. Is considered an addict, and the reason why I say considered an addict is because, to be respectful of his mom, which is my sister, and his immediate family, on her line or what have you. And so it's hard, y'all. It's very heartbreaking to see someone who is very energetic, who was very energetic, and let me go there, who was very energetic and, life-giving, and even he's still like that, but it's just the point of when he's on, drugs or what have you. It's very sad to see. Very sad to see. Very sad to see. Very sad to see. And now he's been going back and forth from, whatever, incarceration to, being out or what have you. And now we really don't know how long he'll be incarcerated. And this was just within the past week or so. And so it's tough. And I know how hard it is and how hard it can be on my sister. I know it is. Well, I know, but I don't know. Because you don't know until it's somebody that close. It's still a close relationship, but not a child of mine, I will say this, my son, he smokes or what have you. I'm not going to say what, because I don't want, again, I'll say this, marijuana. I'll say that. And yeah. And, I don't approve of it at all. I don't approve of it at all. But, hey, that could be an addictive drug as well. So if we see anybody, one, addicted, try to help them. Try to, especially if somebody that's in your family. Try to pull them back, because if they get too far out, listen. I seen this interview on, and I'll go on. I seen this interview on YouTube, and it was in regards to a woman, and it was. I think they do it often. Interviews with drug addicts, alcohol addicts, or what have you. And it was one, y'all. Her life was like a roller coaster. And I say that and I'll hurry up on. I'll say that because she was on drugs. She was in an abusive relationship that was taking her through. She had a baby by this man. The man went to jail, prison. She was, at the time, was living with his family, who didn't like her, who didn't care for her. Once he got in jail, went to prison for a long time, she thought she was good. She said, look, I got this out of my life. He put me on drugs. He made me, try them or what have you. And after she left, she got free, got a nice house, started going to school. He came out of jail. Guess what? You got it. Moved in with her and took her through it again. I didn't finish listening to that video, watching that video. But people in your life can take you down. Watch who you are around. Because these disorders, they can form through drugs and alcohol. And that's my thought and my opinion on it. That's just my opinion on that part. But even with children, y'all, watch who grow up in children who grow up in environments where drugs and alcohol are present have a greater risk in developing a substance abuse disorder down the road. Watch who you around, watch who your children around, because it can be driven by curiosity, peer pressure, while others are looking for a way to relieve stress. Addiction and the brain. Excessive substance abuse may affect parts of the body, but the organ must be impacted. But the organ most impacted is the brain, of course. And I told you again, I am living witness of this because it hit home. It hit home. Y'all, if I happen to go over, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But repeated drug use, the brain is unable to produce normal amounts of dopamine on its own. I mean, y'all, this is serious. This is a serious thing, and I hope whoever listening, put it down, please. Please. Get help while you can. And again, like I said, and I'll say this and then I'll move on to, I'm skipping parts, but I'll move on to the most highlighted part, and then we'll go to our guest who's on the phone. I know this all too well. Know it all too well. I had a young lady that I grew up with. I ain't gonna say how, whether it be school, the neighborhood, my job, church. I'm not gonna say which area, but she was on it and she's getting help now. I hope this is good. But every day, earlier part of this year, even last year, begging for money. And I to help, fund her fund her addiction. And I'll tell y'all in a minute the terms between addiction and dependence. But she's getting help. She's working. She's trying. But y'all, get help. I hope this broadcast, this show today, just put a damper on you and make you, I don't make you feel bad to go to it, but make you feel bad to just get help. All right. I'm real raw, straight to the point, and get tough with you. Come on. The difference between an addiction and dependence. The terms addiction and dependence are often confused or used interchangeably. While there is some overlap, it is important to understand the major differences between the two. A dependence is present when someone develops a physical tolerance to a substance. They may experience withdrawal symptoms if they stop using the drug altogether. Usually, a dependency is resolved by slowly tapering off the use of a particular substance. Diagnosing, examination for symptoms or what have you. There's a lot. But the criteria outlined in the Diagnosis and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder are generally accepted and used by professionals to help determine presence and severity of a drug use disorder. They include lack of control, desire to limit use, time spent, and cravings. Also, lack of responsibility, problems with relationships, loss of interest, dangerous use, and so on and so forth, like worsening situations, tolerance, and withdrawals. There's a bunch of red flags, and it goes on in. Problems at work, ignoring commitments, appearance changing, appearance to have a few set of friends, lapses in concentration or memory, a lot of them. Over here in America, 20 million Americans over the age of 12 have an addiction, and this excluding tobacco. 100 people per day die from an overdose. Let's get it together, y'all. Here is a quick commercial break, and coming up next is our special guest on today, Miss Wincey Terry Bryant.
This new season to be elevated. Expect the unexpected.
Today we have on the show a recording artist by the name of Wincey, and on today she's going to present her song, and we're just going to be talking about a few things of what's going on, as well as her music lineage and her brand new song. And so please welcome to the RH3 show, Miss Wincey Terry Bryant. What's going on, Wincey? How you doing?
Hey, Rufus, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. And so I really do appreciate you joining. And we are in the middle of our themed summer block party here on the RH3 show, where we're inviting guests on and just having a good time during the summer on the show. So glad you and we want to thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I love a good block party, so I'm right on time.
Especially in the summer and around the holiday too, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. So let's get started. Let's let the people know who Wincey is.
All right. So Wincey Terry Bryant is who I am. I'm a Jersey girl, Joy Beach, born and raised, and I'm raised in the central area of Jersey. Always loved music since I was a little girl, and just started writing poems and singing in the choir, and went out there in the industry, came back to the church, and started writing about it, and that's what the song is about.
Okay, so Wincey, I know you're a music artist and what have you, but what is your genre based in? Is it gospel music? Is it soul, R&B? I mean, what platform are you basically in?
So I'm basically in gospel. I love gospel music, but the music that I write is so jazzy,
right,
that sometimes when people listen to it, they say, "Oh, I didn't know that was a gospel song," right. So I really listen to the lyrics, so that's kind of how God gave it to me.
That's why I asked, because I've heard your music, and I love all types, and I said it. This is really good music, and I was telling Nina, the Gospel News commentator, that I love that your song, beautiful, and I'm going to let the listeners hear that. And so, how did you get in the music industry?
Well, I was the choir that I was in when I was growing up was an a cappella choir, mm-hmm. and somebody told me about an audition where they needed an a cappella singer, right. Like somebody who had, ears for a cappella music. Mm-hmm. And when I went to do the audition, I got hired without them telling me exactly what it was. They just said, "You'll be in this a cappella group," and, we had like 2 rehearsals. And when I went to the job site that they gave me the address for, it was actually a studio in Queens, New York, Kaufman Astoria Studios, and it was an a cappella group that would be singing for the live studio audience at the Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. That was my first job in the industry. I didn't even, know what I was going for. But the great thing about gospel music is every genre of music is found inside of gospel music.
Right.
So I was prepared and I didn't even know that I was being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so with that, even with your music, did you do anything with that in church? Were you a part of, any music ministries or choirs or churches or what have you?
Yeah, so my church, the church I grew up with, was a very small church, so all we had was like that a cappella choir,
Mm-hmm.
but then I started singing in other groups, like my church fellowshipped with other churches, and so I started meeting other singers,
Mm-hmm.
and they formed other groups where we went and like circulated in the Jersey City, Newark area, Atlantic City, where we sang around town in that group, which kind of prepped me for the work that I would do out there
Mm-hmm.
in the industry, in the R&B industry, where I would end up being a session singer.
Right. Okay. To take a quick turn, and I was doing some, studying and listening to your music or whatever. You say you are a writer. I saw that you got a children's book. Is that right?
A children's book? Yes, I did. Oh, you did your homework. That's good.
I did my homework, exactly. That's a good sign of a great interviewer. So I did my homework.
Oh, hey.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. Yes.
Tell me about your
So
book.
I actually have a couple of children's books. So I have a book called Bullying is Wrong,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things that I do is when I came off the road, so I was on the road with a rapper named Moni Love, and I sang that song, It's a Shame.
Yes.
So we did a 52-city tour with Velvet DeVoe and Keith Swift, Johnny Gill. And when I came off the road, I didn't want to go back to corporate.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to find what I could do, like what I really loved. And at that time, my sister was an educator in schools, and she said, why don't you do something with music and children? Because those are the two things that I love the most. So I started taking music and figuring out how I could configure what children needed to learn. Sort of the way we learned our ABCs was through a song.
Mm-hmm.
So taking education and putting it to music and drama. So I wrote my first children's book, Bullying is Wrong, and then I wrote another one, Character Rocks, which is a bilingual book. And then I wrote a book called Safe, which is actually in 10 languages,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about keeping children safe.
Wow, that's good. Are you still writing, or that's just something that you've done?
No, I'm still writing. So I write curriculum for teachers, because
Mm-hmm.
teachers say, I want to know how to do this in my classroom, because teachers are competing with the media. Like, kids are used to playing video games and watching all this multimedia, and they need to be engaged in a way in the classroom that can compete with what they're used to seeing on TV now. So one of the things I do is I teach teachers how to write jingles and like raps and rhymes and things that will get the kids engaged and have them have fun, like while they're learning, but they're still getting the material.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, I'm always writing.
That is good. Even do your writing? I mean, with your story writing, it spill over to your music. Do you write your own music?
So I don't play an instrument, but I hear it in my head.
Right.
So I hum it to my musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and when they get it, I say that's it. And if they don't get it, I say no, that's not it. Try something else. Give me another chord. I'm feeling
Mm-hmm.
something like this. So I can hum it, but I can't hum a chord. Not that it can't be done, because like Layla Hathaway can hum chords,
Exactly.
but I can't hum a chord. But I can give them the imprint, and they can find it for me.
Right. And okay, so tell me about your current music. The song "Beautiful" and the album that it came off of.
Yeah. So the song "Beautiful" is it started as a conversation that I was having with the Lord. So I have a prayer room in my house that I go into in the mornings, and I just talk to God. And I was saying to him, you know what? I was out there, like, in the world, doing my thing, and you could have cracked the sky while I was out there living wild.
Mm-hmm.
And you let me get back home where I belong, and I think that that's just beautiful.
Right.
And I really wasn't writing it like a song, Rufus. I was just writing to him like a love letter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, now I want you to sing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, sing it? Like, it's not a song. But I just kept, like fooling around with the idea of just making it a melody to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it is the simplest conversation that was just put to music. And
Right.
I'm so grateful for, like, the reaction to it, because people are like, that's just such a beautiful, simple love song to the Lord.
Simple song. Exactly. Do you have, what are your current projects? Is that your newest one, or you are working on anything besides your music?
We're just kind of focusing on Beautiful right now.
Right.
Just again because of the response to it. I'm really grateful that people want to hear it, and in addition to that, just kind of like I'm working on some virtual educational projects for teachers because everybody is kind of grounded right now. So teachers are saying they're having trouble keeping the kids engaged. So besides Beautiful, I'm just working in the educational realm to give teachers some sort of like a virtual platform to teach kids. We're looking for ways to like make Beautiful more accessible to people.
Do you have any bucket list or anyone who you would like to work with?
Oh yes, Jonathan McReynolds.
Yes,
that's just my stuff right there. Have always loved him from the first time I heard him. I love artists who are, one of the things that God said to me is that he's not a cloner. And I love people who will come out in their own skin with their own style and not be regulated in any kind of way. Because again, with the genres, when I first came out, singing the way I sang, which is, like I said, very jazzy, I got a lot of rejection from the traditional church.
Right.
They were saying God's not calling for all that jazzy singing, and you trying to sneak the blues up in here, and all of this kind of stuff that I was not trying to do. I was just, singing it the way He gave it to me. So when I meet people who are really like grounded in their own thing, and their thing is different, I just want to really cheer them on and like shoulder to shoulder with them, because we need more people who will just do it the way God gave them to do, so that we give the rest of the people license who are sitting on the sidelines scared to just come on out with your thing, however He gave it to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's good. And before we close out, we're gonna play I like to get to know the guest by playing a Fave 7 game, and so it's a quick, fast thinking to where I'll ask you 7 questions, and just give me your first answer off the top of your head, okay?
Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go. Okay, first question is your favorite court TV show.
Favorite court TV show? Oh, I guess that would be Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. All right. Favorite vacation spot?
Oh, that would be the Caribbean.
Caribbean. I love it. Which part?
I love, there's a place that we go all the time. It's Aruba.
Aruba. Okay. Your favorite soft drink, if you drink it, or a favorite beverage?
I love water.
Water. That's good. Favorite sitcom TV show?
King of Queens.
King of Queens. That's good. Favorite, let's see. I had these written. Favorite meal of the day, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Lunch. I love breakfast. I know a lot of folks can eat breakfast all day, and I'm one of them.
You're one of them. You're a breakfast person.
Yes, ma'am. Favorite music artist?
Jonathan McReynolds.
Jonathan McReynolds. There you go, full circle. And number 7 is not a quick question. It's not a question. It's a question, but an advice that you would give to the listener audience.
Oh, the advice would be to be who God made you to be, to live into that, because there's no competition for that. Nobody can be a better you than you.
That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate you, Wincey, and thank you for joining us on the broadcast on today, and we really do appreciate it, and I like to call my guests friend to the show, and so anything that you have going on and anything else you're promoting, whether it be your music or books, you're more than welcome to come back and promote, and like to have a good conversation and just enjoy ourselves here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me at the block party, Rufus. I would have been sad if I missed it. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate
I said I would have been. Yeah, I said I would have been sad if I missed the block party. So thanks for having me.
We rocking it out the whole summer, so I appreciate you. I thank you for. You know what? Matter of fact, you are the first guest that we invited on for our summer block party. So thank you so very much.
Yay! Yay, kick it off. Thank you.
Kicking it off. And so, with that being said, Wincey, can you introduce your song, Beautiful, and so we can play that over the air and let people listen to it?
Yes, and Rufus, can I tell people where to find me?
Sure. Oh, I'm so sorry. I usually tell people give them your contact information, where they can find you, social media, and all of that, where to purchase music or what have you.
All right, no problem at all. So if you search Wincey Co Music, WINCEYCO Music, the traditional spelling of music, MUSIC, you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and WinceyCoMusic.com will bring you right to my website. You can also search Wincey on iTunes and get Beautiful. Yeah. And now I'd love to introduce you guys to my song, Beautiful. This is Wincey Terry Bryant, and you are listening to Beautiful on the RH3 show.
I have been down and I have been lonely, but never alone. I wanted someone, but needed you only. How could I have known that your love for me would transcend the ages and call me back home? I want the to know I think you're beautiful. You're beautiful to me. You are so beautiful. You're beautiful to me. Something more beautiful nothing could ever be. Until you come looking for me, I want the world to know I think you're beautiful. You're beautiful to me. For all that you've done, I could not repay you. Forever I owe. So that's what I'll give my forever, 'cause I'll never know why your love for me would cause you to tarry until I got home. I want the world to know I think that's beautiful. You're beautiful to me. You are so beautiful. You're beautiful to me. Something more beautiful nothing could ever be. And I will love you until you come looking for me. I want the world to know I think you're beautiful. You're beautiful to me. You are so beautiful. You're beautiful to me. Something more beautiful
You all, we've ran out of time. Thank you so much to Miss Wincey, Terry Bryant, for joining us on today and being part of our summer block party on today. And go get her music. Check the platform where music are sold digitally or what have you, and go get it. All right, Wincey Terry Bryant, that was a song, beautiful, and I'm up out of here. I'll see you all on tomorrow, where I give you an exclusive broadcast of the RH3 show, and then we're gonna rock out. We're gonna chill on the weekend, y'all. I got babies this weekend, 6 of them. And so, not 6 little babies, but from the age of maybe 7 to 12, I believe. 7 to 11. 12, 11. Yeah, but anyway, they're spending the weekend with Uncle Red. And, it's a birthday party. And so for one of my nephews, and well, he don't know it's a birthday party. He think it's just a sleepover here and to come to play the PlayStation. And so, I got some stuff playing for him. So we're going to have a good time on Friday and Saturday. And then we're going to, rock it out on next week again. So I'll see you all when I see you all. I love you all for real. Peace, party people. Ha ha. See you later.
Without a Twitter's complaint, and being able to turn down your dinner at 8. That means you gotta pay. Because the price that he paid for me gave to me my freedom, so I'm not in slavery. Christ made a way for me, grace me then paid for me. A way back to God through the life that he gave for me.
Peace, party people. See you later.
I'm saying bye-bye. Good night.